The alphabet is the foundation of the English language, but so many students struggle with the letters. Sure, they know their ABC, but do they know their HIJ or their XYZ? You can help them get there by using Alphabet Race, a super fun and repeatable game that will make alphabet practice the highlight of your class. I'm Will from Enchanted ESL, and in this video I'll explain what Alphabet Race is, how to play, and how to get the best out of it in your lessons. While it's best for students to learn the alphabet at the very beginning of their English learning journey, sometimes later they need a refresher. Even intermediate students need it occasionally. But it can be a bit boring just repeating letters over and over again. So we can spice it up. Alphabet Race is a collaborative, timed activity. Students have to say all of the letters as quickly as possible. You time them and try to get a record score. The main version is from A to Z, but there are plenty of other variations which we'll look at later. You can play this game with any number of students, and any age is fine too. The level is probably going to be beginner, or for some cases, intermediate. First, you need to establish an order. If you're teaching just one student, they're going to say all of the letters on their own. With two, they're going to alternate. With more than two, you need to establish an order with a line or a circle. With online classes, this isn't possible, so you need to establish the order very clearly and everybody knows when it's their turn. Get a stopwatch, probably on your phone, and hit start, and then the students go. The first one says A, the next one says B, and then the next student says C, and so on and so on and so on. Go until students reach the end, or they get stuck. There are two things you can do if they get stuck. First is they just stop and then start again from the next student in line, or you can help them out at the cost of a 3-second penalty to their time. When they get to Z, stop the stopwatch, look at the time and add any of those penalties. Note down this score and keep a record of all of the scores, because in the next class they might be able to do even better. Those are the basic rules. Now I'm going to go over a few general tips and then we'll look at the variations. Tip 1, change the starting student each time. This means that every time you run the game, they're going to say a different letter. Tip 2, write the letters somewhere visible, so they don't have to think, oh, what letter actually comes next? They can just see it and read it. Tip 3, go over some of the trickier letters that maybe you want to target beforehand. For example, G and J, or A, E and I. Tip 4, and this one is important, don't blame or criticize students when they don't get it right, and discourage the others from doing the same. There's an element of pressure in this game, and that can get frustrating for some. So keep it low stakes and support those who need a bit more help. And if your class isn't ready for the whole alphabet yet, try an easier version. I often start with just a chunk of the alphabet, the first 9 or 10 letters. Can they get to the end of that really quickly? And then we'll move on to the next chunk, the next 9 or 10 letters. And then we'll do it again until we've got the whole alphabet and we can go from start to finish. And if you think going from A to Z is too easy, there are 3 different ways you can increase the challenge. First, get them to say the letter and then a word beginning with that letter. For example, A, apricot, B, beetle, etc. The second variation is to say the alphabet backwards. And you can make this even harder by not showing them the letters. Sometimes the alphabet becomes like a rhythm or a song, and students know the letters in the context of that rhythm, but on their own, they don't know them. So to change this, mix up the order of the letters so they can't use that rhythm to help them. I'm sure you can think of many other ways to adapt this game to the needs of your students. Remember that the motivation of this is to try to beat their score each time, so they have to get better at learning the letters. As the game only takes a couple of minutes, you can use it at the start or at the end of your classes. A good time is if you have students lining up in the classroom to leave or outside the classroom to come in the morning. You can do it then because they're already in order. And after a dozen or so sessions of doing this, you can be pretty confident they'll know the letters really well. Alphabet Race is short and sweet. And if you're looking for more games that practice letters, I've got a whole video of 7 of them. It includes battle words, my version of Hangman, which is much better than the original, and Countdown for advanced learners. You can find that video right here, so go watch it. But for now, I've been Will from Enchanted ESL, wishing you all the joy and success in your teaching. See ya!